Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and the Family. Today we're going to make a Louisiana Crunch Cake. Now I've searched recipes, I've read recipes, and this is what I've come up with. I kind of put my own spin on everything, and if you know me, you know that's what I do. So let's get started. How about it? First of all, I have got a pot of chili going. It's going to be cool tonight, so I'm kind of turn you around just a little bit more. There we go. I've got a pot of chili that I got going. So let me give it a stir. And then we'll get started on our cake. I will read out the ingredients to you. And for the cake, we've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 cup of butter softened, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 4 eggs room temperature, a teaspoon of coconut extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 cup of milk. Now after we bake it, take it out, we're going to make a glaze, and it's going to be 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar or thereabout, and 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk. Doesn't take much milk when you're using powdered sugar to make a glaze. I'm going to toast about a 1/4 cup of coconut, and then after I put that glaze on it, I'm just going to sprinkle that toasted coconut on top of the cake. Now you can roast some nuts if you want to. I can't have nuts, so I leave them out, but it would be good. You could put cashews, chop you up some cashews, roast them a little bit. Peanuts would probably be good. My favorite is pecan, however you say it, and but it would be good either way. All right, let's get started. I've washed my hands. I washed them just before I came on. So we're going to start out with our butter and sugar, and we're going to cream those together. So I've got 1 1/2 cups of butter, which is 3 sticks. So let's get that in there. Oh, it's nothing like real butter when you're baking. A lot of people like margarine, and that's fine too. Whatever you like. I just love butter though, real butter. Of course, butter makes everything better, I say. Okay, so we got that. And how much sugar did I tell you? I told you 2 cups of sugar. 2 cups of sugar. 2 cups of granulated sugar. And just kind of level it off with your fingers. It's not perfect. I think it'll be all right. 2 cups of sugar. So let's put our paddle attachment. We're using the paddle attachment. We'll put it on there. Lock it down. And get it to creaming. Now we're going to break our eggs, and we're going to add them one at a time. We've got 4 eggs. Let me get something to put the shells in. I'm coming. So I'll put the shells in that. So the one thing you don't want to do when you're breaking eggs is break eggs in your bowl. You might get some eggshell in there. You don't want a crunchy cake. Trust me, it won't be as good. We'll put a little crunchy topping on it with coconut. That'll be good. Alright. Oh, that's looking so good, but I'm going to go ahead and scrape it down. Nothing better than butter and sugar creamed together. Oh my goodness. Get in there. We don't want to lose any of that goodness. Okay, so we're going to turn it back on. Now we're going to crack 1 egg. we'll put it in the bowl. And while it's creaming, we'll crack the other one. Room temperature eggs just seem to bake up better in your baked goods. I find, as I did today, I forgot setting the eggs out. But I haven't been long, got home from work and decided I was going to make this cake. So what I did is I put my eggs in this little bowl, as you see, and I ran some warm water over it and let them sit there in that warm water, and it brought them to room temperature. And the same with my butter. I didn't set it out, so I just popped it in the microwave for just a few seconds so it softened up. I haven't tried it, but I've heard a trick where you get, take a glass and put you some really hot water in it. Let the glass get hot and then put it over your stick of butter, like stand your butter up and put the glass on top of it and let it sit there for a few minutes, and that'll soften it up. Haven't tried that. I don't know if it works or not, but it's a hint. It's a tip if you want to try it. Last egg. So that's 4 eggs. Let's move this out of our way. We don't need these. We rinse my hands off so it doesn't have that egg shell. Raw eggs. So we'll get those eggs going. Turn it up just a little bit. And I'm gonna scrape down my bowl again. I want to make sure it's all incorporated. Now I've got my oven preheated to 325, and this cake is going to take about an hour or so to bake. Now my oven is propane gas, and it cooks a little lower in the oven. Sometimes I have to bake things a little bit longer just to, you know, to match up to what a gas oven would be. But that's okay. So like 60 to 65 minutes, I check it at an hour and see if you need to add some more time to it. So next we want to add, we'll refer back to my recipe because I want to make sure I don't miss something. We've got our flour. Well, we don't have our flour yet. We've got our butter and our sugar and our eggs. So now we're going to add our extracts. I've got vanilla and coconut. So we're going to add a teaspoon of coconut extract. Use some good extract. Use real extract, not imitation. You will find that your baked goods come out so much better if you do that. So we've got a teaspoon of coconut, and we're only going to use half a teaspoon of vanilla. This brand of vanilla I love. I know it's backwards. It's Simplify, and it is, y'all trust me, it's delicious. It's a little pricey, but you'll be so glad. Okay, that's about half. So you'll be so glad you used it. It's a Madagascar bourbon vanilla, and it is extremely good. So now let's get a bowl. Let's get a separate bowl. While that's mixing up, and I think it's good, we're going to, I know it's noisy, isn't it? We're going to measure out our flour, and we've got, let me get my measuring cup. Where did I put it? 3 cups of flour. Again, this is all-purpose flour. It's 1, 2, 3 cups of flour. And then it says bake butter and sugar. Oh, don't put any more sugar in it, Karen. Yeah, I almost messed up there. Then we want, let me get another teaspoon. Hang on, I'm coming. teaspoon. Where'd I put you? Well, y'all, here we go. I found it. So we want how much salt did I say? A teaspoon of salt. I used table salt, not kosher salt. A teaspoon of salt. And I bought fresh baking powder. Keep your baking powder and your baking soda fresh. If you don't, it will not give you the finished product that you want. So then we've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, let's move this out of our way. So we're going to take our little whisk here and just mix it all together. Kind of stir it up, and that way it won't all be in one spot. So, and then I've got, here's my milk. Here's my milk. So let's go over it again, make sure I've got everything. I've got my butter and my sugar. I added my eggs, my extracts, my vanilla and my coconut. We put our baking powder and salt in our flour. Now we're going to alternate between our flour and our milk. You start with your flour and end with your flour. So we'll put our flour in 3 additions and our milk in 2. We don't need this. It's turned out chili here today. I got some pot of chili going, so that's what we're going to have for supper tonight. We had a hurricane come up through from the coast of Louisiana a couple of nights ago, so that kind of dropped our temperatures. So, but I'm ready. It just means the holidays are coming. I love the holidays. And it's Halloween, y'all. This is my Halloween costume today. So, is that our next edition? I am making a mess. Our next edition of flour. Stir that around a little bit, then we'll put the rest of our milk. And I'm going to scrape the bowl down here in just a minute. And I've got a bundt pan, not a bundt pan, a tube pan. And we're going to grease and flour it, except I use the baking spray that it has the flour and everything in it. So I don't have to stand there and worry about greasing and flouring it. Let's put the rest of our milk. Oh, it's looking so good, y'all. It's a pretty batter. I'm going to turn that up just a hair. You want to turn it down when you go to put your flour in, because you don't want to wear it and have it all over the kitchen. Don't ask me how I know that. But I do. Turn it down, then we're going to add the rest of our flour. I had a request for a Louisiana Crunch Cake. And a cousin of mine, John, hi John, I hope you enjoy watching this. And he requested it, so I'm going to make it for him. Well, I'm making it in honor of him. I'll put it that way. So I'm going to turn it up. Now let's scrape the side of the bowl down so we can make sure we got everything mixed up really well. Alright. Beat it too much, overbeat it, then we'll have a tough cake, and we don't want a tough cake. Nothing worse than a tough cake is Look how I'm doing that. Sometimes you can just get everything off that way. Didn't work as well that time. This batter's a little thicker. So let's scrape that down. Take our beater off. Let's get all that goodness off in there that we can. We don't want to leave drop behind, do we? Yeah, this is going to be so good. I'm so looking forward to this piece of this cake. I'm going to have a piece of this cake with a cup of coffee, or you can have it with tea, whatever you like. Now, when I get done mixing, I like to take my spatula and make sure I go down to the bottom of my mixer just to make sure that the mixer got everything mixed up good, and it looks like it did. So let's spray our pan. This is the tube pan I use, y'all, and it's got little feet on it, so when you take it out, you can turn it upside down and let it cool. It's really an angel food cake pan, and you turn, when you make an angel food cake, when you take it out of the oven, you turn it upside down so till it cools, and that way it stays resin up. So I'm gonna hold over the sink to spray this because I don't want to get it on the floor and slide down. That would not be a good thing. We're wanting to enjoy the cake. Okay, well, let me move stuff a little bit. So I've got some room to grow. There we go. So I'm going to take my batter and just plop it right in the pan. I'm going to turn my pan around. Put some more till I get it all the way around, get all the batter in, all that goodness. You know, it's going to be so good. I can smell it and taste it already, and I have not tasted this batter. I just know it's going to be good. Let's make sure we get it all. We want to scrape that bowl. See, we don't want to leave anything behind. I don't think I can get another drop out of it. And I'm going to take my spatula and spread it around so I can get it even. Get in there. Get it even on the top. And when it rises up, it's going to be so pretty. And it's going to bake up so pretty and crunchy, y'all. Get that off of my fingers. Now looky here. Looky here. See how pretty that batter is? Can you see that? Now we're going to put this in the oven. It's preheated at 325 degrees, and I'm going to bake it for about an hour. I'm going to check it, and then I'll see if I need to add some more time to it. I suspect with my oven I'm going to have to. You may not. So you just check yours after an hour, and then you decide if you need to add some more time. All right, I'm going to wait for this good old cake to come out. We'll be back. Hey y'all, we're back. I've got my cake out of the oven, and I let it cool a little bit. Now, I'm going to have to tell you, I told a story, but I didn't mean to. I was going to put some toasted coconut on top of this, but I don't have any. I would have sworn to you that I had a bag of coconut in my freezer. I always keep it in my freezer, but I didn't. So we're going to slide that onto my my cake plate. Put it on a pretty cake plate. It means a lot when you're serving it. We need some milk. We're going to measure out our confectioner sugar and some milk. So give me just a minute and let me get some milk. And let me pour a little bit in my measuring cup. So we need 3 to 4 tablespoons. So I'm going to measure out A quarter cup, I'm sorry, I know you can't see me. A quarter cup, which is 4 tablespoons. And if we need more, we can get it. I don't suspect we're going to need more. And I've gotten my milk. This is Wesley. Wesley's the wizard, and he joins me at Halloween. So, he's a fun little bear. I think I got that out of one of those, or I didn't, my husband did, out of one of those machines, you know, where you put the quarter 50 cents in and get the little claws that grab. So we need, let me read my recipe again, make sure 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar. Here's a 1/2 cup. Here's a 1/2 cup. Now that makes 1 cup. One more. 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar. So we're going to set this to the side. But then when I realized I didn't have any coconut, I was so disappointed. So I'm going to put a little bit of coconut extract in it. This will still be good. So let's measure out our milk. We'll start with 3 tablespoons, and then we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons, and I'm going to put about 1 cupful is a teaspoon. So let's go with not quite a teaspoon. Put that back in there. And stir it up. Now you can make it as thick or as loose as you want. I'm gonna make it, I don't want it real thick, but I don't want it like running off either. So I'm gonna put 1 more tablespoon of milk. Do a little bit at a time. Maybe we'll do a half. Do a little bit at a time when you get to this point. Because if you don't, you're just going to have to keep adding. Let's switch tools here. You're going to have to keep adding powdered sugar to get it like you want it. Oh my goodness, what's happened to my whisk? Y'all, look at that. That's not good. Glad I decided to take that out. So we're going to stir it with our little spatula. Oh, I don't know what happened with that. I've been using it. Maybe I used it too much. So let's put just a tiny bit more. I want a little thinner. Just a little bit thinner. And then we're going to drizzle it over our cake and all over the top and hope it runs down. See how I've got it here? Look. That's the consistency I want. If you want yours thicker, don't put as much milk. If you want it thinner, add a little more milk. Your cake's going to be good either way. So here we go. Let's drizzle it on. I so wished I had had some coconut. I was looking forward to putting some toasted coconut on it because it would have been so pretty. I'll hold this up and show it to you as best I can after I get this on here. Then as it sits and cools, this glaze will set up. See how it's running down the side? It's just going to make it so pretty. Look at that all over it. Look at that all the way around. Now, if you want more glaze, you put more glaze. If you want less glaze, don't put less. Don't put it all. Oh, it's so good. I wish y'all could smell this. I smell the coconut. I just love coconut. I have a grandson that, my little grandson, he loves coconut. as much as I do. And we like the Almond Joys or the Mound Bars. Y'all remember those? Well, I remember them. They're still here. I'm sure you've had them. And they're so good. Get some down around that little hole on the inside and let it run down there. This is looking so pretty, y'all. And I know it's going to taste as good as it looks. And if y'all make one, yours is going to be just as good, I'm sure. And I know you've got everything in your pantry to make it. If you don't have coconut, put lemon in it. Or leave the coconut out and just use vanilla. Make it your own. But I'm afraid without the coconut, it's not a true Louisiana Crunch Cake. But you know what? It's going to be good anyway. Let's take a little taste of this. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Y'all look how it's running off in the plate there. See that? You scoop it up when you cut you a slice. Looky there. Isn't that so pretty? I hope y'all make this. And if you do, let me know how it comes out. Let's go over the recipe one more time, okay? We got 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt. You're going to mix those together in your bowl, set it aside. 1 1/2 cups of butter, softened, that's 3 sticks. 2 cups of granulated sugar, 4 eggs at room temperature, a teaspoon of coconut extract, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 3/4 cup of milk. Now, you're going to cream your butter and sugar together. You're going to add your eggs one at a time. Add your vanilla and your coconut extract. Then alternate between your flour and your milk, beginning with flour, ending with flour. Put 1/3 of your flour, 1/2 your milk, another 1/3 of flour, another 1/2 of milk, and your last 1/3 of flour. Mix it up really well. Bake it at 325 degrees preheated oven, 60 to 65 minutes. Mine actually took about 70 minutes to cook, but I had told you that being propane, it cooks a little lower. But it works out great. It's beautiful, and I'm just going to taste as well as it looks, and I hope you will make it and enjoy it as much as we will. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the videos that I've been doing. Please share them, like them, and share them. I would certainly appreciate it. And I like doing it, and I like getting some of my recipes out there where other people can enjoy them, and I hope they do. All right, thanks again. Join me next time. Thank you. Bye.